Hi, good evening. My name is Patricia Jones. I'm originally from Williamsburg, Virginia, and I am a cryptococcus meningitis survivor. And I have the Lord to thank that I'm still here today because when I contracted this disease, nobody knew how to cure it or what to cure it with. And there were only 3 people in the area that had it at that time, and I was the sole survivor. And that was back in 1995, and I give God the praise for that because if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't have made it. The doctor said that if the medicine didn't kill me, that the disease would, and I'm still here. And I was 29 at the time. I am now 65. I had my share of life's ups and downs, and then I started to go through some more trials after the disease, as if the disease wasn't enough. And my niece sent me some videos of Pastor Troy's teachings, and they were very encouraging to me, and it started following him on Facebook. And it seemed like every teaching that I watched of him, it was ministering to my situation. I mean, it's like he knew exactly what was going on in my life, and we were like 600 miles apart. And after a chain of events, I moved to Georgia. My niece and my nephew, Rivers Foreman, God rest his soul, but his name is Rivers, but he's always going to be boss man to me. So that's what he is. Because he was the one that came up with the idea to come to Virginia, travel. This man traveled 1,200 miles. He traveled 600 to me, and he traveled 600 to get me here. And I will never, ever forget him for that. Love you, Doc. And I was determined to meet Pastor Troy. We got home around about midnight, and we didn't get finished unpacking until around 2. But I meant I was getting up the next morning. It was on a Saturday night, and I just meant I was going to church Sunday morning because I had to meet Pastor Troy and experience this sermon live. And we came 600 miles to receive the encouraging word, and I was determined to meet Pastor Troy in person. I traveled 600 miles. Royce and Doc, they traveled 12. But it was all in God's plan, and I do believe that. And we got home around midnight, and we got finished unpacking about 2, but I was determined to experience that sermon in person. And when I got to church, I'm just throwing this in, I made sure he knew I was there. I went on the front row and I sat right in front of the pulpit. But this is how I do. Because I had been listening to this man ever since March of 2020. And just to get to meet him in person was all that it's just something, it was like me meeting a movie star. And I figured he would deliver more to me in person. So I'm here. And I can relate and understand his teachings a lot better than my pastor that I had when I was in Williamsburg. Well, I did. And I still feel like he's speaking to me every time. It's not like I go and sit in there and just, okay, and he's talking. I feel like he's talking to me all the time. And yeah, and he can relate to me also because he's a meningitis survivor. And this is, maybe this is why he knows exactly what I need to hear. Because he's been through it also. And this meningitis started in 1995 of June. And like I say, I give God all the glory for this. And listening to Pastor Troy preach, he just made me realize it more. That I didn't do this, the doctor didn't do this God did this. And if He didn't want me to be here, I would have joined those other 2 people that passed away. But I didn't. And I'm still here. And praise be to God. Praise, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So what would you tell other people who might be out there who haven't heard about Pastor Troy? Would you suggest to them that they need to get into his teaching? What would you say to them?
I'm into his teaching, and I read all of his passages on Facebook, and I would tell them they really need to listen to some of his sermons. I said, because whatever you're going through, Pastor Troy has some direction for you, to tell you which way to go. This man is clearly, I know this is the only man that I have ever met that I truly believe is a man of God. See, if God comes and talks to him, God does that. He's really come and talk to you, just like He told me that morning, Patricia, go ahead and get this operation if you want to get better. And I did. And I got better. And He got me up, and He started me to walking. I had lost my face. Face on my right hand side had dropped. My shoulders had dropped. And I was out of pieces. And I just talked to Him. And God, I said, well, I haven't done everything You always wanted me to do, but I tried. And I guess He figured, that she's sincere. So let me help her out a little bit.
So now you're a faithful and tithing and participating member. Did you ever mention how you actually joined? You went from a social media member to a...
Yeah, I went from a long distance social media member to a in-person member. And I just, Pastor Troy has just taken me so far. He brought me out of a lot of dark places that I was in. I would go back and I would refer to his sermons, and I would, okay, this is what he said. And he said, well, don't let this get you down, And I go back to a lot of things that he told me. And that was my journey, and it was a journey to be on.